Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. I'm going to keep this short. Um, I wanted to make a video and I want to basically ask you guys a question. And I want to address the concept of what they call an authentic African. The reason why I raised this question is because the talking point is that if you weren't born on the continent, that you're not an authentic African, that you're not a real African. And I see that whenever people talk about reconnecting with African culture, they always have some horror story about talking to a continental African and then, getting a splash of cold water in their face to let them know that, you're not really an African, you're an African American. And then I tend to go by what Amos Wilson said when he described what makes, first of all, culture. What is culture? Culture is people. Without people, there would be no culture. And so, culture is not something that sits outside of you, it's something that dwells within you. And he also said that what makes something African culture is when it works in the interest of African people. I have two examples that baffle me and something that I want maybe some explanation from the people who feel that you're not an authentic African unless you're born on the continent. If Africans on the continent are practicing traditional African spiritual systems and spirituality, and yet they can anoint a white man as king or chief of a tribe, are they truly engaging in functional African culture? Does that follow in the same line that Amos Wilson was talking about, where he said that what makes something African culture is when it works in the interests of African people? When you can have a white man with 37 wives, black African women as wives, and a king, a white king, where you're supposed to bow down to acknowledge this guy. Is that really African culture? I just want an answer to that. Give your you know comments in the comment section of this video. There was another point that I wanted to make, and I've made it before. I don't get I don't feel insecure. I don't feel like I've been knocked off of some pedestal or block or something when a continental African wants to portray themselves as a more authentic African than me. See, that stuff doesn't bother me because, like I've said before, I know what 2 plus 2 is. It's 4. So if somebody thinks it's 5, that doesn't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get under my skin the way that I think it does, because I feel like the way it upsets them so much is that maybe they really feel that Africans on the continent are more authentic Africans than they are. Maybe that's why they get so hurt when they feel that a continental African doesn't accept them as a brother or a sister. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about all continental Africans, because the continental Africans that I deal with accept me as a brother. And I accept them because they know that we are all African people. We're just African people on different parts of the planet, but we're all African people. So, Pan-Africanism addresses that, and anybody that's not about that is by definition, a bootlicking coon. So, I don't get upset what bootlicking coons think and feel. But I did want to ask the question about that. Like, how authentic can the African culture be when you got a white king and a white chief? So please leave your comments below. And I look forward to hearing from them, and I'll holler at you good people later. Peace.